Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. This is Einat Kessler of Saturday Extravaganza, and today I'm going to create a mixed media collage canvas that is inspired by Leanne Bishop, which is lovely scrapping. So thank you very much for your inspiration. I'm starting by cutting my photo. This is going to be a collage with a photo. So we're gonna learn how to work around that and create our canvas around the photo without damaging it, of course. So I'm starting by cutting my photo and tracing it on my canvas with a pencil, so I would know exactly where to do my other stuff. You see here a pattern I created with modeling paste, but it's going to be completely covered, so I skip that part altogether. So I'm using Mod Podge to adhere my photo, and I'm covering my photo completely with a layer of Mod Podge. This is going to protect my photo from all the spraying and all the paint that we're going to add later on the canvas. So this is going to protect it from everything, the gesso and everything we're going to add. So just put a nice coat on there on your photo and dry it so it will protect the photo. Now we're adding some texture with the cheesecloth. Make sure to put enough Mod Podge so that it will stick to your canvas. I'm wrinkling it, as you can see, creating the texture that I want. It's also going to go over the edge a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm gluing everything with the Mod Podge, and then I'm putting another coat of Mod Podge on top of the cheesecloth. So this will keep my texture from moving. It will be completely sealed. So the Mod Podge has a double duty here. It's going to be a glue and a protector and a sealer to all our cheesecloth that we're going to put. We're going to go around the photo with the cheesecloth, a little bit overlapping the edges of the photo, so it will give it a blended look later on. And just secure your cheesecloth with the Mod Podge. It should look scruffy and wrinkled, and we don't want it to be straight, of course. So this is my last piece that I'm adding to the canvas. And make sure you dry everything. Now I'm going to add some more texture with some lace and some trims that I have. So we're doing it the same way as I did with the cheesecloth. I'm just putting Mod Podge and covering it with some more Mod Podge. That will adhere it to the canvas and seal it. You know, all these canvases, these style mixed media collage canvases, were originally inspired by Finibar, also known as Anna Dubrovska, and she inspired other artists, and I'm inspired by all of them. So Lovely Scrappin and Anna Finibar, both of them. Anna Dubrovska, sorry, Finibar, as she's known on the web. So she's an amazing artist. She's a prima educator. So this was inspired by her. So just add your lace and your trims any way you want to. I'm using different kinds, so they'll have different texture. The whole point of adding them is to create texture and a pattern on the background of the canvas. Just another piece gonna go there on the left side. These canvases are really fun to create. You'll just see in a minute. We basically did something similar when I did the create canvas with a lot of embellishments on it, and then I sprayed over it with all the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays. So this is basically what we're going to do today, but the point is to work around the photo. Plus I have a few more techniques that I'm going to add to this canvas. So after it's all dry, I can start working on my embellishments. I'm going to cover the entire canvas. The only thing that's going to be visible is the photo. So you basically can use whatever color of embellishments or flowers that you want, because they're all going to be covered later with gesso. I'm using yellow ones because I have so much of them. So, and I have different kinds, so I'm just using yellows, but it doesn't really matter which color you use. It can be whatever color. Choose the flower according to the pattern. Sorry, not the pattern, the way it looks. If you like the way the flower looks, not the color, you should pick it. So now I'm starting with my larger embellishments. I'm not going to show you each and every embellishment that I put, because it is very long process. Because basically I start with the larger embellishments. I put them as anchors, as focal points on my canvas, and then I start filling the holes with smaller embellishments. And this is kind of a long process, so I edited the entire thing, and you'll see it bits by bits, but you'll get the idea of the technique to do all the embellishments. I'm mainly using hot glue. It's the best thing. It dries quickly, and it's a strong adhesive for all the metal, fabric, plastic, whatever, chipboard, whatever type of embellishments you're using. So I started with this cogwheel and some bottle cap that I filled with beads, and this is a hinge that I'm adding now, and another hinge is going to go on the left side here. Just start layering the big ones. This is a chain that I I added to a safety pin on one side and a metal key on the other side, and now this chain is going to hang down. I'm securing in it with a little bit of hot glue because I don't want it to move, but if you want it to move, you can just leave it hanging. Be careful when you use the hot glue. I got my fair share of burns when I used it. My fingers always went to the wrong place, of course, where the glue was, so kind of painful but worth it. So this is my big key, rusty key that I added. This is another metal embellishments, big circle that is embossed. This used to be a pin, like a brooch when you wear on your blouse, but I removed the closed pin from the back, so now it's nice and flat, and I can use it as an embellishment on my canvas. Has all kinds of hanging things, so I'm adding this as well. This is to be part of a keychain, and it's broken. I found it, believe it or not, on the street. It was just lying there, so I obviously took it. It's broken, so nobody would miss it. Another flower. This is a honeycomb that I'm cutting, and I'm also going to add it. If you have flat stuff like this or fabric that you want to use or add, the best way to do it is with Mod Podge, like we did with the trims and laces. Just wiping off my brush a little bit. Excuse me. So I'm adding this. It's a very thin chipboard. So basically like a paper. Very thin. So Mod Podge is the best way to secure it to its place. So this is going to be more texture and more interest on the canvas. So just add this over here. Now I'm starting with the smaller embellishments. This is a metal square. This is a heart. It used to be a locket that I found in a flea market. So basically this is a photo of my sister and I when we were kids. So the heart is for her. It's for her birthday. This is going to be her birthday present, this canvas. So now I'm adding hexagon and more buttons, and there's a small lock there. So make sure you add things with texture, because we won't see the color of the embellishments, only their size, their shape, their texture. This is a small watch that I have also from a flea market. So just make sure to add things that have texture and shape. And this used to be on a pen, that thing that you put on your pocket so the pen won't fall. The star, metal star. So you see, I'm trying not to just add round things, trying to mix it up with the shapes and add all kinds of things, small flowers, and I'm filling all the holes. Make sure there are no empty spaces on this canvas. This is just a flower of paper flowers. So you just keep on adding more and more embellishments. You fill in all the space on the canvas. And for the really, really small spaces, I use either beads or pearls just to fill in the holes. This is a nice metal corner that I'm adding. This also used to be part of a kind of a chain. Just goes to show you that you should never throw anything, because you can always use it on your art. It's a butterfly. I also have a frame there with a crochet flower, the green one. This is also used to be a locket, a very old metal. It's a sun, small sun, and another heart that goes in there, and another locket. And I'm adding more buttons and more embellishments. I moved the camera a little bit closer because I realized you can't see anything that way, so I'm sorry. It's just very small pieces that I'm adding. And the spaces, if you need to wipe your glue, then this is a screw and a kind of a nail that I don't even know where I got it. This is part of a zipper. I'm securing it on the side there so it won't move. The annoying thing about the glue gun is that the hot glue gun is that it leaves the strings of glue that you have to keep removing. But I guess that's the price you have to pay when you use a hot glue gun. So more buttons and the bird. Just try to keep it interesting and use all kinds of shapes that you have. Again, it doesn't matter the material or the color. It only matters what kind of shape it has and what kind of texture it has, because everything is going to be completely covered with gesso. So all the colors will basically disappear. We're gonna give everything different new colors. This is, I don't even know what you call it. This helps you thread your string when you sew inside the needle. That's supposed to help you. This is a little owl, another metal square there, and another small hinge that I used to have a wooden box, and I took out all the parts, all the hinges and the small nails and everything. So there I have a key and some buttons and another hinge and a little spoon and a little tiny angel that I'm adding. So basically you see the whole canvas is covered with embellishments. So now it's time to cover everything with gesso. You have to take a small brush and go through all the little holes and nooks and crannies and all the little spaces and every little embellishment. You have to cover every bit of it. So this is a very long process, and you have to have a lot of patience because it takes time to cover everything. If you want the spraying process to be good and to have the desired effect that we want, then everything has to be covered completely with gesso. So be patient, do it slowly, and cover every little bit. That's why you should have a small brush so you can go in all the nooks and crannies and all those bends and holes and everything. So this is how it looks after it is covered. You can see that the brooch and the watch on the right side are not covered because they're transparent, and they're going to stay that way. So after everything is covered with gesso, you have to dry it all completely. And we're going to put some baby wipe on our photo so it will not get damaged with all the spraying. And I'm cutting small pieces to cover my brooch and my watch there. So now we can spray and they will not get covered, and the photo is not going to get covered with all the spraying. So I'm starting on the edges with some dark spray, dark color, dark brown. And as you know, when you spray, you should do it in stages. I mean, because you need a few coats of each color to get the effect. So you do the first coat of paint, you spray, and then you dry it, and you do another coat, you spray again, you dry that as well, and then you spray again until you're happy with the color that you have. And between sprays you have to dry it, otherwise you'll have pools of color. This is more of a copper brown that I'm adding, and again you have to dry each spray that you do. So this is the double color spray that is brown and turquoise in the same one. It's an amazing effect. It's the moon shadow mist. It has a great effect because it's basically two colors in the same spray. So I've added gold, and now I'm adding some turquoise and teal. Also used some green, and you basically keep on spraying until you're happy with the result that you have. So I'm spraying and spraying. You only see a little bit of the spraying because it took much longer than on the video. I had to cut it a little short, otherwise we would sit here for too long. So after you're happy with the result of the spraying, I'm going to take a little bit of gesso and highlight some of the embellishments. I'm going to start around the photo so it will highlight the photo and give it a little bit more light. we're basically creating a lighter frame, lighter color around the photo, so it will create sort of a illumination on the photo. And I'm also continuing this effect on some of the embellishments, using my finger to rub it on a little bit on the embellishments. So you see it gives it a really nice effect. More highlights and tones, dark and bright on the same canvas. So again, you go and do these highlights as many as you want, as much as you want, on as many embellishments as you want. And on the side of the photo. Really adds a little bit of more texture and depth to all the colors. The more layers you do, the better it looks. Basically, I think I'm happy with this result, and this is the finished canvas. I'm really happy. I hope my sister will like it. Gonna show it to you a little bit closer so you can see all the embellishments. You can see that, like I said, you can't see their color, just the shape and the texture. So really cool effect. The only color that we see is the color of the sprays that we did and the highlights with the gesso. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope I've inspired you, and thank you very much, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great day.